Section 2.2. A histogram is the graph consisting of bars of equal width drawn adjacent to each other. The horizontal scale represents the classes and the vertical scale represents the frequency. The height of the bars correspond to frequency values. The important use of histogram visually displays the shape of the distribution of the data, shows the location of the center of the data, shows the spread of the data, identifies outliers. Example 1. Construct a frequency histogram. So from this table, we have the classes and the frequency. To construct the histogram, first we need to draw the vertical scale and the horizontal scale. The vertical axis represents the frequency and the horizontal axis represents the classes. The first class is from 75 to 124, has the frequency of 11. So we are going to draw a bar all the way up to 11. The second class is a class from 125 to 174 and has a frequency of 24. The third class has frequency of 10. The fourth class has frequency of 3. And the last class has frequency of 2. There are 5 classes in my frequency table. I should have 5 different bars in my histogram. To label the horizontal scale, I can use either the class midpoints or the class boundaries. For this example, I'm going to use the class midpoints. A relative frequency histogram has the same shape and horizontal scale as a histogram, but the vertical scale uses a relative frequencies instead of the actual frequencies. Example 2, construct a relative frequency histogram. That means that they want me to use the relative frequency to construct the histogram instead of the actual frequency. The vertical scale represents the relative frequency. The horizontal scale represents the classes. The first class has the relative frequency of 22%. The second class has a relative frequency of 48%. The third class has 20%. The fourth class is 6%. And the fifth class is 4%. We can use either the class midpoints or the class boundary to label the horizontal scale. In this example, I am going to use the class boundary. When constructing a histogram, it will show us the shape of the distribution. And here are the 4 common distribution shapes. The first one is called bell shape or normal distribution. The second one is called a uniform distribution, where all of the bars are almost having the same height. The third one is called skewed to the right. The distribution is skewed to the right is when you have a longer right tail. And the last one is skewed to the left when you have a longer left tail. I am going to show you how to construct a histogram using a raw data with StatCrunch. So if you click on here, they'll show you the raw data. And if you want to import it into StatCrunch, you can click on this little square and choose Open in StatCrunch. Your data now is imported into StatCrunch. So to construct a histogram, you click on Graph and choose Histogram. Here I will choose the column Service Times. Down here at the type, you can choose either frequency, relative frequency, or density. In this one, they were asking for a frequency histogram, so I choose frequency. In this part where they ask for the bins, they add start at. So when you look into these options right here, all of them start at 69.5. So I'm going to put in 69.5. And for the width, if you look at these bars right here, from 69.5 to 109.5, if you take 109.5 minus 69.5, you get 40. So my width is 40. Then you're going to click here and compute. What you're going to do now is trying to match this with the options that they gave us. So it looks like it's going to be C. The histogram has longer right tail, so the distribution is skewed to the right.